Alrighty, welcome to the series on support and resistance. So I'm going to be teaching you everything you need to know about support and resistance in this one series, okay? So we're going to start with the very basics, and we're going to slowly work our way into more advanced topics. But we're going to start off on the drawing board. This will be the only video that I'm using the drawing board, again, just for the absolute beginners that don't have any single clue what support and resistance is. All right, so in simplest terms, support is an area on a chart where price has failed to move lower in the past. Resistance is an area on a chart where price has failed to move higher in the past. So for example, I want you to look at my cursor, and I want you to imagine with me that this is price. It's trading lower, trading lower, trading lower, trading lower, trading lower, and then boom, it finds its bottom and it trades higher. That is a level of support because that is the lowest the price went before it found support and moved higher. That makes it a level of support right there, okay? And on the other side of the coin, resistance is an area on a chart. So you can see price trading higher, trading higher, trading higher, trading higher, and then boom, it rejects and goes lower. That makes that a level of resistance because that is the highest the price went before it failed and moved lower. It's the highest point the price reached before it failed and moved lower. That makes that a level of resistance, okay? And another important thing to note is that support when broken becomes resistance going forward, and resistance when broken becomes support going forward. For example, we've already concluded that support is an area on a chart where prices failed to move lower. So we've already concluded that, and boom, there's your support, right? That is the lowest point the price reached before it moved higher. It's important to note that support when broken becomes resistance going forward. So just imagine with me for a second that price comes down lower, price trades down lower, and it smashes that level. That level of support, that previous level of support where price failed to move lower in the past, it resumed lower, and this time it did snap that level and it cracked that level, it broke that level. Whenever support is broken, it becomes resistance going forward, okay? So what you'll see, a common scenario that you will see many times play out is price will trade back higher after breaking that level. It'll come back up into that previous level of support, which is now resistance. It'll reclaim it as resistance, and then it will resume its trend to the downside. All right, so resistance is just the opposite. So for example, follow my cursor. You can see how we're trading higher, trading higher, trading higher, trading higher. And then you got that level of resistance. That's the highest peak that price hit before it pulled back and failed to move higher. Okay, so that makes that an established level of resistance, right? Here, one second. Let me draw that on there better. All right, so there's your established level of resistance. Whenever resistance is broken, it becomes what? So we can see price resumes higher, it resumes higher, it resumes higher, and boom, it breaks that level, right? So resistance when broken becomes support going forward. So a common scenario that you'll see many times play out is you'll see price resume lower, it'll reclaim that level, it'll come back down, test that previous level, and then this time around it will find support and move higher. So those are two common scenarios that you'll see play out many times, okay? So in the next couple of videos, we're going to go to a real chart example. Like I said, this is the only time we're going to be on the drawing pad. So we're going to go to a real chart example next, show you what it looks like in a real chart environment.